What's up, peeps? How you guys all doing today? We are currently just give me 1 second, Nick. Let me just make sure. I think we are live. I just got to make sure that I don't think we're live on the Instagrams just yet, but it's all good. How you guys all doing today? Come say what up in the comment section below. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna close my door.
Yep, take your time, brother.
Hope you guys are all having a phenomenal night. We're a few minutes early. Come say what up in the comment section below, whether you're watching this on the Instagrams, whether you're watching this, on the YouTubes, on the Facebook. We got a great client interview with you guys today, Mr. Nicholas Thorpe. Mr. Nick, how you doing today, sir? Talk to me.
Feeling good, man. I'm excited for this. I'm excited. What's going on, everyone? Hope you guys are all having yourself a great day as well.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go on live on my phone right here. So I think that's probably better. I'm gonna do. All right. Give me 1 second. Come say what up in the comment section below. Tell us where you guys are from. Are you from? Give me 1 second. We're gonna go on live. Yeah. I'm gonna just click live. Screw this. Yeah, buddy. Let me see. We are on live. What's going on, guys? We got Instagram over here. We got YouTube, and we got Facebook over here. Something that I'm trying. It's a new platform called Restream, where I'm able to stream on multiple platforms. So that's pretty exciting.
We got all the platforms.
We got all the platforms, man. I've done so many of these lives, and now it's funny because like marketing is about testing a bunch of things.
Yeah,
trying new things. Trying, failing, applying a new method,
seeing what's working, what's not working. Yep.
Seeing what's working, seeing what's not working. And then basically, like, I found that the best marketers, the best business people are the ones that can test things faster than others. So kind of not to go off topic because this interview is about you.
Yeah.
But I found that the best business people in general, so whoever's listening, is your ability to bring things to market faster than other people. I think the biggest problem that we see with coaches, by the way, guys, I know we were going to start this this live interview at 7. So we're a few minutes early, but come say what up in the comment section below, whether you're on the Facebook, whether you're on the YouTube, whether you're on the Instagram, come say what up. But I find that as I grow, because, one of our big goals for our company this year is to hit the 7-figure mark. And so as I study all these individuals, I was on a call with the team and he was telling me, it was actually the Ryan Pineda team. He was telling me that on average, they do about 1.2 to 1.5 million a month.
Crazy. I'm guessing they're leveraging and testing out different things.
Yes. Yep. So they have a few different, coaching programs, but what I love about it is that they're so quick with testing all these different things.
Yeah.
So they'll test a live event, right? They'll test an in-person event. They'll test an online challenge. They'll test. I was talking to them. This is just a quick side note. We'll go to Nick. Everyone, come say what up in the comment section below. Where are you from? You from Toronto? Are you a Canadian like me? Are you from New York? Like Nick, tell us where you're from. We want to know what type of coach are you. But they were telling me that they have multiple webinars and multiple VSLs, and they run ads to different things. And so I just thought that was really cool. It's very inspiring. But one of the biggest things that I'm realizing is the ability of how fast can you adapt. I think that one of the biggest challenge with a lot of coaches is they spend so much time in think mode, and they don't go and test a bunch of new things constantly. Let's throw this out. Let's throw this out. Let's throw that out. Let's throw this out. And I think once you can master the art of like speed to market, how fast can you move things to market? How fast can you build a low ticket course and bring it to market? How fast can you build this webinar and bring it to market? How fast can you create a Facebook group and bring it to market? How fast can you launch a live? How fast can you do all these things? And I think once you master the art of speed to market, I think that's when you will actually grow. I think there's a time and a place of building the foundations, But then I've realized with these bigger dogs, they're just moving at a speed that I'm just so not used to. I don't know if you want to add anything
Mm,
to that, Nick, but that's kind of what I'm realizing. That's kind of like my big realization. I think I'm moving fast. I ain't moving fast.
yeah,
I'm moving like a six-figure coach. To move like a seven-figure coach, to move like an eight-figure coach, it's different
for
guess how much
sure.
they again, this is between me and you, but they spend anywhere from $500,000 plus a month on ads.
Testing different things. Testing different, and it's funny too because I think even where you were bringing up as well that because I connect with a lot of coaches who kind of message me as well because they see what I'm building through my Facebook group, and after talking to a few people, like you mentioned before, like I see a lot of people in think mode and procrastination mode, like they
Yeah.
delay what they have to do in order for them to grow. But I agree with you with 100% on you have to, again, money moves with speed, right? So marketing and testing different things out and being, fast with it, that's the best way for you to grow at the end of the day.
Before we get into this interview, Nick, I want you to tell me what are some of your goals this year, man?
My
Because
biggest
obviously, I think
goals,
you had
yeah.
my point of view. Again, I want to get into Nick's story, but if you guys saw my email that I wrote before this event, um, Nick's journey was on. Um, by the way, we are live, right? Like,
Yeah,
I know I see people are
it
on
says we're
live, but
live.
I want to make sure.
I see people
I
commenting on
want
the side.
Okay, so people are
Yeah,
commenting
yeah,
down
yeah.
below. Just wasn't sure. I'm on Restream. I'm on Instagram. I'm on YouTube. I don't know what the heck's going
Yeah.
on. Um, but yeah, like from my point of view, Mr. Nicholas, from December 2020, 21, 22, I think
Man.
2023 um,
Yeah.
was obviously your biggest year in coaching.
Yep. Yep.
I think it was your biggest year in the online space. It
100%.
was your first. I think you hit your first. Was it 10K or 9K month?
9K. 9K.
9K, which
Hmm.
is unbelievable. I don't care where you're at. Um, and kind of tell me about your last year, man. Tell me about your last year and tell me
Crazy.
about your goals for this year.
Yeah, bro. I think the biggest thing, if I were to give like a massive reflection of 2023 and the version I need to be for 2024 is I think 2023 for me was building foundations, right? Of making sure I have a process for growing the group, right? Making sure that I have foundations of creating content for the group, nurturing my audience, and just really understanding what I need to do to improve, whether it be sales or improving my skills as a overall. Right. And, I could talk about, the 9K. I could talk about, I've been able to make, 60K or roughly about 60 to 65K my first year. But there were definitely a lot of challenges that went through that. Right. Because I think with a lot of people that I see, they see a lot of these, people having success, but people don't know what's going on behind of
Yeah.
the difficult things that I have to go through, the challenges. But the challenges that I needed to go through allow me to be the
Became a man. You became a man last year,
exactly,
huh?
man. Exactly. For me to have a much better year for 2024, right? So for if you're a coach right now, I think the biggest thing that, I really want you guys to kind of reflect on is, every single obstacle that you go through is the thing that you need to be in order for you to again unlock that new version that you need to become as a coach for you to get to that next level. And that's the biggest thing that I personally realized all of last year, right? So I'm excited, man. I think for me 2024, I recently onboarded my setter yesterday, started running ads yesterday, which is good. My
Mhm.
biggest aim for this year is number one to get up to 250K per year. My second year in the coaching space, and again, this is my
I guess this is the most money you've ever made in a year. I mean, you're only 23 years old. So this,
yeah.
this is like, have you ever made 60 or 70K before
No,
in a
it's my
year?
first ever time, and it's
Online, it is that is what I don't even know where the heck you are. It looks like you're currently in Mexico. I'm kidding. That's a
yeah.
that's a green screen. But um yeah, like how does it feel, man? How does it feel to be an actual like running a business, having coaching clients, being 23 years old, having I'm guessing you have some clients in their 40s or 50s or people that are
Yeah.
double your
So
age.
I have clients that are in
Isn't
their
it crazy?
60s. I have a client who's in their 70s actually, early 70s, which is crazy. And
That's crazy.
you know what's the craziest thing? I think to myself too, where it's like, oh my gosh, like these individuals are double, even triple my age, and they're getting advice. Now, I mean, I don't mean to say it like this, but they're getting advice from somebody who's only 23. But
Yeah.
the reason why they resonate is because again, like I've had the experience that they went through and they connect with me. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. But I'm excited, man. My biggest aim is continue to changing the lives and continue to improve and making sure I need to do what I have to do to crush 2024.
What's been your biggest lesson from last year? Because I feel like, again, you graduated from Utica College
Yeah.
22, right?
22. Yep.
22, and then 23 was your first, in my eyes, your first real full-time year in business, which
Hmm.
is rather 70K or 60, 70K at 23 years old. Like that is unbelievable. I think if we told Nick that back in 2020, he would have been like, nah, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
I don't believe you. Yeah, tell me kind of what's been the biggest eye-opening experiences you've had? Because there's a certain level of pressure, certain level of
Facts.
responsibility.
Yep.
There's a certain level of consistency. There's a certain level of like learning how to deal with emotion,
Yeah.
learning how to like keep a smile on when things are on fire. So tell me, what are some of the biggest realizations? And by the way, for everyone who doesn't know Nick, Nick came to me from scratch, baby.
Yeah.
But yeah, kind of share some things with me. Has been some of your biggest realizations from last year?
Biggest realizations is the game of patience. Right. I think a lot of people tend to overlook it, but I know for me, like and honestly, I think that would be the biggest lesson I learned is just staying patient and just trusting the process and doing the
Yeah,
thing that's working and staying consistent with it. Right. Of course, there have been challenging days like I just spoke about, but overcoming those challenging days and persisting through.
yeah.
Right. So I think, yeah, I would say that was my biggest, really the biggest breakthroughs that I had for 2023. Staying, you know, um, persistent, and then on
Yeah.
top of that as well, staying patient and knowing that if I continue to do the same thing that's been working, I'll eventually get to the end goal.
Someone on Instagram wrote, "The game of patience is real, hundo
One
percento."
hundred percent.
I think it's about being patient, and patience is a funny thing because
Yeah.
you can say I'm patient and not take action.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
In my eyes,
Yeah.
patience is showing up, getting punched in the face, and showing up the next day with a smile on your face,
Hmm.
and not seeing results right away, and still pushing through. That's to me real patience.
For sure.
Like showing up and like, all right, man, it is what it is. I did 5 calls yesterday. No one signed up. All right, let's do it again.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it again. This person just told me they're going to sign up. Last minute they bail. All right, let's do it again. All right, let's keep posting. No one liked the post or no one, da da da. How to whatever the case is.
Yeah.
That to me is real patience.
Mm.
Is the person who's taking action, not getting immediate results, and still showing up.
Hmm.
Because one thing that I've seen with you, Nick, and it's again, we're both living very similar lives. It's the thing of like um, putting on, I wouldn't say putting on the face, but like putting a big smile on the
Be an
face, knowing
actor.
that you got all this pressure
Yeah.
on you, and you got to keep showing up and putting the smile and getting on live.
Yep.
Anything you want to add to that, sir?
100%, 100%. And I know Kevin Trudeau talks about that, where it's because, bro, I could talk about, even as well, like, no, I'm living in my own apartment. There has been a lot of pressure with that. A lot of pressure with it, where I was like, hey, what the heck? What's going on? I thought this person was gonna sign up, things happened. But I think it's a concept of, again, if you know where you're going, like you have a vision in mind, that
Yeah,
to me personally has been a thing to keep me moving forward. Because at the end of the day, even if things are going crazy, things are happening inside my business, I know if I have a vision in mind and end vision that I keep persisting, like I mentioned before, things will
yeah,
eventually work. And I've seen that happen to me. Whereas me being optimistic about what personally, I'm trying to achieve for myself. All right.
yeah.
So
It's crazy,
yeah,
man.
man.
We're living the same life, two areas of the world, and It's crazy, man. You are a brother to me, and so we
If
definitely,
it
I
wasn't
mean,
for you,
it's
man, I was gonna say, if I were to kind of give a quick little input on that, if it wasn't for you, Dan, from
yeah.
2020, and I know I spoke about this before, I always say this, but you have been the biggest impact in my life. And that's no fluff, like that's no BS. Like
Yeah,
seriously. Like if it
yeah,
wasn't for you, bro, like you've literally revamped my whole life for the better. From
yeah,
Nick back in college to joining the program to improving my public speaking skills to then me becoming a coach, giving me different lessons on things that I have to do to again evolve as a person. So I
yeah.
appreciate you, bro. Honestly.
Well, I even think it's like the idea of like, because like me and Nick, again, like brothers, we have the highs and we also have the lows. We
Yeah.
also like, kind of, and I think like a good mentor is not someone who just like talks a big game,
Yeah.
but like at some level, I'm even mentoring you just by leading by example.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, even though we don't talk every day, even though we don't talk every week, although you're on my coaching calls, but like I am showing up daily, and I know that's a form of like that's to me that's what a real mentor is.
Facts.
There's a someone who just like, you got this, man, keep going, keep pushing. Then there's the other of like, dude, I don't need to. I'm working, brother. You keeping up?
Yeah.
You keeping up? Like I think that's the power of a good mentor, the power of a good coach, the power of
Hmm.
a good, um, just yeah, like they don't need to tell you that they're working hard. They don't need to tell you that they're putting in work.
Facts.
You just get motivated. You just get motivated by seeing what they're doing. And I
Hmm.
think that's kind of been our relationship now. It's like, great, you're playing with the big dogs. You good? All right, get to work.
Yeah.
I don't have time to motivate you. I don't have time to be like, did you get your webinar done? How'd your sales calls go? I don't know. Go figure it out.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And I think it's a motivational factor because again, like my end vision is to eventually get to a stage where for where you're at, right? Where you have a team of other people that you're leading. Because I think as a coach, your job at the end of the day is supposed to lead people, not necessarily, constantly keep motivating them, but lead them towards the right direction. Right. And
Yeah.
for what you're building as well, that's exactly what you're doing for me. Right. Because one day I want to get to where exactly you're at. So I'm
Yeah.
excited, man.
No, I think it's all worth it. Again,
Yeah.
you are, living the life that I wish I lived at 23 years old. I think you are, because I think about myself when I was 23. I was, I didn't even, I couldn't even fathom me running my own gig, you know, and it's like you have, and so you're dealing with a lot more pressure, than I dealt with at your age, but you're going to be farther in life than I am, and I think that's, I think that's awesome. So, okay, so let's chat about it. Let's get into it. I got some questions here. If you guys have questions in the chat, whether you're on the Instagrams, whether you're on the Facebooks or the YouTubes, I'm loving that this is working. Nick, this is
Yeah.
this is pretty cool.
And it's crazy too. We're doing the same exact live on 3 different platforms. I did not know you could do this. I did not know you could
No.
do this.
Nick's gonna be doing this next live.
Probably, honestly. I'm gonna go on Instagram, YouTube. No. In the future, though. Not now, but in the future.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, cool. So, yeah, so kind of tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't have to follow the exact questions that I always ask,
Yeah.
but as someone who's been in the program for a while, what has been some of the biggest things for you that's made a massive impact in terms of being in our program? Because I think that's a big key factor, and this isn't really meant to be a pitch or a sell. I think it's really like understanding what a good coaching program does for someone. So you can
Love
talk
it.
about the community, you can talk about the videos, you can talk about, but what have been the things that have been the most impactful for you?
Personally, for me, the support. Personally, for me, the support. Like, I know I've known you in depth for the last probably 2, 3 years of my life, but the thing that I personally see that a lot of other programs, kind of hearing other people as well in the industry or even seeing it is they don't get the right support that they need. And the
Mm.
fact for me, like earlier today, I booked a COVID dev for tomorrow. But the fact that I'm able to just schedule a call with somebody who is a mentor of mine whenever I need to, just to give me just personal things that I need to do to constantly evolve myself, constantly improve my process, to me, that's worth millions. And honestly, I think that's really the has been the biggest thing for me, right? Now, of course, the whole strategy, the process, of course, that can be, implemented. And of course, I'm utilizing, but I think when you have somebody who, or you have people, right, you and Dev, giving me
Mhm.
personal feedback on things that I could do to constantly improve, to me, that makes the whole program for me, honestly.
Yeah.
So definitely the support.
I love that, man. Love that. Yeah. Any feedback? I think we can. I know we've done a few interviews, me and you, but
Mhm.
um, I guess my question to you is like any feedback that you would give to new coaches,
Mm,
or even like advice to your younger self, like the things that have worked for you. What have been the things that have worked for you?
got you. So first, I'll talk about advice I'll give to my younger self. Is personally, I think this would be my biggest regret is not starting sooner. And that would be also advice I give to other coaches, right? I think a lot of
Mm,
coaches kind of come to this place where they're like, I feel like once I have everything all in order, then I'll start my coaching business. And to me,
mm.
I think that leads to, personally, just in my opinion, you know, delaying your success at the end of the day. And that's something that I wish I realized when I was younger. Because I'll be honest with you, I had, like, before even becoming a coach now, I thought about becoming a coach before, when I was in your Master
Mm.
Your Stutter program. But then I was like, I don't know if I have the right expertise, or I don't know if I can actually do this. And that's something that I feel like a lot of newer coaches also deal with. And honestly, I regret not starting sooner, because if I started back then, I'd be at a whole, probably not saying like a whole nother, well, I'd be in a whole nother place, but yeah, I'd be a lot more, yeah, I'd just be in a bigger level than I am right now. Right.
Well, yeah, yeah. No, no. Continue.
Right.
Continue that thought.
And yeah, and that would be my biggest advice that I give to my younger self is, when you know you want to do something, don't hold yourself back. And it's the same exact concept with a lot of new coaches, or a lot of new coaches that, just hearing things going on in the industry. A lot of people want to start this coaching business, but they hold themselves back because they either think they need to be perfect, or they kind of have these self-doubt and imposter syndrome.
Hmm.
Right.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, my question to you is like, tell me also too about high ticket, because I think like
Yeah.
a lot of people struggle with the idea of like, um, are people really going to pay? Like, what's kind of been the highest ticket that you sold? 5,000?
5,000. Yeah, 5,000.
Yeah, which is like ridiculous. Um, ridiculous.
Yeah.
People are like, someone actually paid a 23-year-old online $5,000. I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Um, Yeah, tell me about that, and tell me about like how to actually get a high ticket client. Because obviously you're dealing with a lot of people that can't afford it, or people that are not ready, or whatever the case
For
is.
sure.
That's just welcome to life in general. You got to go through a lot. You got to knock a lot of doors to find the winner. But to me, like, kind of what's been the thing that's worked for you? Because you have understood the formula to have someone pay a high ticket rate in the online space without
100%.
really shaking your hand in person. So tell us about that. Tell us how you crack that code, and what actually makes a high ticket sale.
The simplest answer, Facebook group. Simplest answer, the Facebook group. Like, of course, there's different metrics to it, but the biggest foundation for it was the Facebook group, right? Where I think personally, I think that the number one thing that helped me to, sell my services up to 5K was content, people getting nurtured by me, right? And
Mhm.
honestly, building a relationship with people on the sales call, right? Like, Dev gave me a lot of critique and feedback on my sales process. That has helped me a lot. But I think that was really the number one thing for me, that's helped me to sell high ticket, where people are just getting educated by me and getting nurtured by me before jumping onto a call.
Yeah, and like
Hmm.
I also want to talk about, because I feel like there's probably things you do unconsciously right now, right? So like for example, like there's also the setting piece, there's also
Yeah.
the copywriting piece, there's also the webinar piece, there's also the testimonial piece. So kind of like break that whole process down, because I think like a lot of people just think, oh, I'll just start a Facebook group and people are going to want to sign up for my program. But like, kind of break down like maybe your day or like the key elements of that, because I think that's very important.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Well, my day is it's there's a lot of pieces that happen throughout the day. But I would say the biggest things that kind of put the puzzles together
Hmm.
is one, again, like I mentioned before, the content, and getting my clients really good results as well. So building up my
Mm,
credibility, posting inside the community, messaging people inside the group, right? DMing them, connecting with them, booking them onto calls, jumping them onto a sales call, and then closing the deal. Right.
yeah.
I think that would, to keep it simple, that would be like the biggest thing that helped me to scale. But of course, I wasn't doing that when I first started. I had to build up my credibility, get some testimonials, market inside my group. But as I started to, again, just add more people inside the community, get more people to become more aware of the brand, and get more testimonials, get my clients really good fucking results. And sorry for my language. But yeah, after getting those things, a lot of people have saw that, and then that, kind of being like, hey, my services are $5,000, be like, okay, cool, what's the price, and then go through there, right? So I
Yeah.
think that'll
Tell
be
us
the
about like
biggest
that
thing.
closing call, because I feel like that closing call is really important.
Mm,
Because like, yeah, like I feel, tell me when you were a newbie salesperson and now you would say now you're a closer. You have the confidence to be like, all right, what's the credit card details? All right, let's do this. So kind of tell me about that.
yeah.
Tell me about like the newbie Nick in sales to like someone who has the skill set that you have right now. What's the biggest difference?
I think time is the biggest difference, and credibility wise.
Hmm.
I think I had to, because again, when I first, like, last year was my first real year selling something online. Like, I don't have a background in sales, never went through any of that. Like, last year was my first full year actually being in the sales industry. So I think from, the first sales call that I had in 2023 to, last sales call that I had in December 2023, um, I think it was a matter of going through, having a lot of calls for me to constantly find ways for me to improve and critique. And again, going back to the support, having Dev or having you giving me feedback on my work. And then on top of that as well, making sure my clients are constantly improving and constantly getting better and getting more results within my program.
So just because I want to get a little tactical, what do you think you did differently from a tactical level, like a
Mm.
strategic level, from new sales Nick person to current version? Like, are you listening more?
Ah,
Are you asking certain questions? Are you able to like ask a question and shut up? Is it giving a ton of value? Is it knowing
yeah.
where to weave someone? Is it knowing how to tap into someone's emotions? Like, tell me about things like that that's been working for you.
So giving value on the call, I would say.
Tell me about that.
Yep. So I think before, when I first started, I was just more of just I was listening, but it was more of listening and then asking the question without even acknowledging, right? And
Mm.
that was something that I was missing. And then, of course, getting critique, getting feedback from Dev and you as well. Um, you guys were kind of telling me, you got to give value, you got to educate people. Because again, these people don't even know who the hell I am. So I can't even ask for money if these people don't even know who I am, if they don't feel educated enough to wanting to invest it to me.
And even though they booked a call, even though you gave them homework video, they still don't know who you are.
Exactly. They still don't know exactly who I am. So I think it was this concept of actually giving value on the call, really breaking down my process and painting that picture for them on how this process could be the solution for them. That, I think,
Yeah.
would be the biggest thing, right?
Why? Like, why do you think it was so effective?
Of giving value,
Hmm.
because people build more trust with me. Right. Like, the thing about it, and I was actually hearing this as well, because I know you guys do the same exact thing. You guys give value in your calls, right? It's I think people resonate and respect you more when you actually give value to them, because that's gonna be the thing that builds trust with them. Right. Like, I even say this in my live trainings, like, we're in the game of trust. Like, if nobody can't build
Mm.
trust with you, they'll never invest into your services. I say this every single time in my live training, and it's 100% true. Whether it's copywriters that try to grow their copywriting business, coaches as well. If nobody can build trust with you, they'll never invest into your services. And I think this concept of giving value on the sales call, and really breaking down my process, painting that picture for them.
I'm gonna cut you off.
Yeah.
Define value.
Value.
because value is a funny word. See, this is guys, this is what a sales call is. I'm digging now. I'm like, what do you mean by that? What do
Yeah.
you mean by that?
Yeah.
I'm totally kidding. But like one thing that I always say on sales calls is be curious, like give value and be curious about that. But
Mhm.
again, going back to you, um, yeah, like what do you mean by value, man? What
Yeah.
the heck does value mean?
So,
Be inspiring, motivating,
yeah.
sharing tips. Tell me.
I think for me, value is finding the problem somebody is having and giving them a solution for
But Nick, you're giving it all away. Isn't that? I thought they get that when they join your coaching program.
it. Again, people don't really care about the information. They're only paying me for, hey, Nick, if I invest it to you, are you going to keep me accountable? Are you going to make sure I
Mm,
implement this? That's the thing people care about at the end of the day. Right. And that's one of the biggest things I've seen with a lot of people, right? Like, for example, my last client that just enrolled into my phase 2 program, right? Like, it's so fucking funny. So, so funny. When I first
yeah.
messaged him, right, he was like, hey, Nick, I'm not interested in the program. I was DMing him, followed up with him a couple months later. He's like, followed up with him, connected with him. Hey, how's everything going? Giving him value instead of DMs. I was like, hey, bro, let's book onto a call. He books onto a call. We build a relationship. I'm giving value. I'm like, hey, what's been your biggest challenge? He's like, hey, right now, the biggest challenge is, I'm a copywriter, I already have copyright experience, but I'm having
Mhm,
difficulty getting clients. All right, cool. Here's exactly what my process is, breaking that down for him, really breaking it down step by step with him. He got a lot of value. He's like, hey, what exactly does your coaching services cost? Without me even having to ask, which is crazy to me. Showed him exactly what he's getting, and then he paid in full. So that's exactly to me what
and then he
value is.
enrolled to the next program,
He enrolled into
or
my phase 2.
so he enrolled in phase one and then he signed up again.
No, so this is
Oh, he just went straight to phase two.
yeah, this new client just went straight to phase 2. Straight to
Wow,
phase
that's
2.
crazy.
Yeah,
But
straight
you
to
also
phase
had
2.
someone else sign up from phase one, then went to
Phase 1 to
phase two.
phase 2, yep, exactly. So that was
How
Rob.
good did that feel that you knew that you made such an impact on this person that he's willing to buy again from you?
Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, it's funny, man, because I think, and it's so funny with that specific client as well. Like, I see myself within him. Even though he's older than me, I see myself within him because he is somebody who's willing to do what it takes to get to where he want to go to. Right. So it's powerful, man. It's powerful. It's powerful. But yeah, to go back to the concept of value though, I think yeah, it's finding the problem somebody's having and giving them tips on how they can overcome it.
Nice. And so do the glasses help you close more sales or
Just
like
a little
what?
bit. Just a it makes you look smarter.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Mr. Professional Nicholas. Um, Tell us a little bit about. I want to hear your life, how it's changed.
Man,
I know. Yeah.
man.
Like you couldn't pay to experience what you've gone through, and so like there is no course to go through what you've gone through, right? But yeah, tell us how's your life changed from
Yeah.
when I first met you and you were doing Uber Eats or Skip the Dishes, right?
Skip the dishes.
DoorDash, sorry, DoorDash,
Skip the
sorry, Skip the
dishes.
Dishes. That's Canadian. That's
Oh,
Canadian. Sorry
really?
about that.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Oh, I
Skip the
never heard it.
Dishes.
That we don't have that in America. Skip the
Yeah, yeah,
dishes.
yeah. Okay, DoorDash. We don't have DoorDash, but
Yeah.
yeah. Tell us how your life has changed. Even going from the copywriting agency to the copywriting coaching.
Yeah.
Tell us how your life has changed as a whole.
Yeah, I could break it down a little bit more, go back a little bit more. And I think you found this out. I didn't tell you this when I first met you. I think you figured it out as I kind of built my webinar. But senior year of high school, I actually got arrested for grand larceny. Right. So a big challenge that I had within my life was, I felt like, I always wanted to be accepted by other people, right? And this lowered my confidence, and ultimately, again, this led me to do grand larceny. So I was working at Target at the time, and I had a group of people that I wanted to always be friends with, right? Because for the
Hmm.
past 3 years, my senior of I mean my 3 years of high school, I didn't really have a lot of friends, but I always wanted to be in this clique. So I was working at Target, and I would tell those people, be like, "Hey, come to Target." These people would then go through the Target, go to my because I was doing cashier. They would go to my ring, and I would scan their items for free, and I put money into the register. right? Because again, I wanted to be accepted by them. I wanted them to be like me. So I found out, hey, why not do this? I feel like they'll accept me. So I did that for the last 3 months. For the next 3 months, I essentially believe I stole about 1,800 and something, $31, something like that, for the last 3 months of doing it. Got arrested, right, for that, and then after that,
Can I
um,
ask you, like,
yeah,
who snitched? How'd they find out?
cameras, man, the cameras.
Oh my
Cameras,
goodness.
brother. The cameras got me, man. Every damn transaction. Cameras got me. Crazy,
Wow.
man. Crazy. Yeah. They were sniping me. They were sniping me since the first transaction. So that happened 3 months. And then after that, my parents, paid for that, because if they didn't pay for that, I probably would have been in jail. And I didn't have any money.
Wow.
So that happened. And then my mom, I think it was like 2 weeks later, she was like, what exactly we do with school? I was like, I honestly have no idea what the hell I want to do with school. So I was like, you know what? I know college is a thing that a lot of people do. So you know what? I'm just gonna be like, I'm just gonna tell them I'm just gonna do criminal justice. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do criminal justice. Even though deep down I had no idea what the hell I wanted to do. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna choose to do criminal justice. So I did that.
Mhm.
And then from freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, probably most depressing moments of my life. Because
Why?
I would have
Why?
thoughts of like, what the hell am I going to do after I graduate from school? What am
Mm.
I going to do? Like, I don't know exactly if, if I graduate from school, what's going to be the thing that's going to happen to me? My parents going to kick me out? Am I going to, have to live out in the streets? Like, I literally had no idea. Right.
Mhm.
So then, junior year comes by, which is when I met you, Dan. Right. And, a big thing that I realized I need to improve on was public speaking skills. Right. Because again, I
Yeah.
spoke about I didn't really have a lot of confidence. And I was like, you know what? I need to improve my public speaking skills.
And I
So
closed you on the spot.
he did. Paid in full. Paid in full.
You're like you're like, "You got a podcast? Alright, I'll sign up."
Paid in full. And it was crazy too, because I remember that day. It was Christmas Eve. I know when at the end of the call, there was like, I was so skeptical. I think we were on that call for a good 2 hours, because I was so like, I don't know who the hell this guy is. I don't know how he got my number, but he seemed legit. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just do it. And that to me was probably the best thing I ever did in my life. That moment right there. Because again, I would have never connected with you, connected with everybody else. And yeah, man. So that Nick, I appreciate a lot.
Yeah.
A lot,
That
100%.
naive, open-minded trust. Yeah, because you just bought a copywriting course, right? Or was it
Yeah.
copywriting coach
So
or
I
copywriting
was
course?
actually gonna go. That was the next thing that I did right after. Right.
So you bought my course
I
first.
bought your
Coach
course
Jones course.
first. And then and at the time I was doing DoorDash to make a little bit of money around that time. And the following week, 2 weeks ago, I got a call from Dan Locke Specialist, who then introduced me to copywriting. And it's so fucking crazy how that happened. Dan, I invested into 2 weeks later, I invested into my first copywriting course. After that,
Dan,
took copywriting, and then you then introduced me to Chris. Right.
dude, 2 Canadians and 2 Dans. Isn't that crazy?
Fucking insane. Crazy, crazy, crazy,
Oh my
crazy.
god.
So yeah, so I invested to the course, and then after that, I got stuck after taking the course, and courses can only do so much. For me personally, I
Mhm.
don't think courses are the way to go. You can
Why?
get all the
Why?
information, but there's nobody to keep you accountable, and that's something that I dealt with. Right. So I remember, and I remember as well when I told you I was stuck, you were then like, Nick, who do you listen to for advice? I was like, you listen to people who have what you want, who have been in your shoes before. You're like, are you doing that right now? I was like, not at all. And then that's where you're like, let me connect you with my copywriter, who at the time was Chris. So he then introduced me to
Mhm.
Chris, learned from Chris,
Okay.
was able to build my business up to 5K. And then after that, transitioned to, I would say, late 2022, after building my business up to 5K.
I remember
Remember,
having that conversation with you, like, it was, like, September or August 22. I
yeah,
was like, "Dude."
August, yeah, yeah, we were talking about marketing. We were just talking about marketing in general, and then
Yeah.
after that, you were like, why don't you become a coach? And then I was like, a coach, a coach. I was like, man, that's
Well, I remember hearing you. You're like, I'm making money with my copywriting agency, but
mhm.
I don't know how that conversation even happened.
I think we were talking about marketing, and then after that, kind of hearing exactly what you were building, I got interested in it. But a part of me was also having this imposter syndrome. It was like, I don't know, don't I feel like I need to have to start making 10K a month like all these other copywriters. And then you told me this line,
Plus, plus, plus.
yeah, right. And you told me this line that changed my life, where it's like, Nick, you don't have to be 10 chapters ahead, you just gotta be one chapter ahead of someone. And I was like, shit,
Yeah.
you're right. And after that, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go into it. And then fast forward that, started my coaching business, started my Facebook group, built the foundations, and then after that, to where we are today.
Yeah.
So I'm
To
excited. It's
where
crazy,
today.
bro. Crazy,
Taking
bro.
January 24, 2024.
Crazy, bro. Crazy, crazy,
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
Well, as we kind of wrap up, if you guys have any questions, I know I'm not really looking at the comments right now, but I appreciate everybody. Yeah, I guess like I always ask this question, but um, um, where do you think you'd be right now if you didn't take action and join the program?
So we see for I mean, I could talk about even from when we first met. Again, I'd probably
Yeah.
be stuck in life and not knowing what the hell I wanted to do when we first originally met. But in terms
Yeah.
of the coaching program, um, honestly, honestly, man, I think I'd still be doing copywriting.
Like learning.
Just learning it. Just learning it. Honestly, just learning it.
Well, I think there's a lot of people at your age that are still just trying to figure it out.
Yeah, trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to do with it. Is it, copywriting I could do really for the long term? Even though I was doing really good with it, is it something I could see myself doing for, next 10, 15, 20, 30 plus years? Right.
Mhm.
And I was telling my girlfriend about this, where it's like, man, I'm so glad now that I've learned copy, I learned the game of it, of how to build a business, improve the skills, XYZ. To me,
Mhm.
the best thing that I personally believe is, you know, seeing the growth that other people have after teaching them certain things. Like for my clients, right?
Yeah.
Teaching them, hey, here's a system how to start getting clients. My clients making money from it. It's changing their lives. They're improving their skills. They're enjoying the program. To me, that's worth millions to me. That's
Yeah.
worth millions to me. So I'm
Yeah.
again, I probably would never connected with all of my clients and made an impact if I didn't join the program. I'd still be stuck. So
Yeah.
yeah.
What's your take on investing? On
You know
uh,
me, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me, because I feel like it's a good perspective. I think what you guys won't see from Nick is the ability to like invest
Take
back into
action.
him.
Yeah. Take action. Like, if I know the value of something, I'm not overthinking it,
Mhm.
right? Like, even if like we were to think about, even Nick when he made it like that $2,500 into your program was the first ever high ticket or high ticket that I've ever done in my life. But I
Wow.
knew what I needed because I was committed to something, which was like, hey, let me just take the action in doing it. Right.
Mhm.
I think there's a power in investing in yourself and learning and constantly learning different things you can do to improve. And I think again, it goes back to, if we go back to a lot of new coaches or just even copywriters as well I talk to, where they feel like they can do everything on their own. But at the same time though, you know, the best thing that you can do is either, invest into somebody knowing that they can help you out, or and the worst thing you can do is try to figure it out on your own, playing with time.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think there's a power investing into yourself and constantly keep learning and finding different ways you can improve day in and day out.
Yeah. Last question. For anyone that's on the fence about booking a call with us, speaking to us about our program, any words that you would say to them?
Personally, right? If I were to answer that question, I don't know what's holding you back. To keep it simple, like I honestly don't know what's holding you back. Because the fact that, even for me, being able to grow my coaching business my first full year, right? There's probably a lot of coaches who have had 10 plus years in me. For me to, because I think that's fairly successful for me, where my first full year I made over 60K plus, right? My first full year. Like, you guys already have the foundations, you guys already have
Mhm.
the things that's needed to really make a business scale and grow.
Is it possible for anyone, Nick, or I think it's just a bunch of BS?
What do you mean?
Building a coaching business. I think people are skeptical of,
Mm,
is this really possible?
Well, I guess my answer to that is if this is something that you 100% want to do, 100%, right? It's possible if you actually want to do this. And it's like, yeah, I want to do this, but not so really to me, it's not going to work out for you. Because when things get difficult, you're then going to give up and then go to, affiliate marketing and then, drop shipping and then all these things. But if you're actually focused and committed on doing it, 100%,
Yeah.
100%, especially with Dan and Deb's help and support as well, 100 fucking percent.
Well, the beautiful thing even about copywriting too, or building a coaching business, is like you've had some expenses over. Like I wish we could look at the actual number of like you generated, let's say $70,000. Like how much did you really spend on the business? I'd be very curious to look at that number. Like not on your life, not on your house or your car or whatever the case is. What did you really spend on the business?
Not really a lot.
That's what I'm saying. Like, think about this, right?
Not
Like,
really
let's
a
say you
lot,
built a drop
honestly.
shipping or an Amazon
Yeah.
business, right? Like, I want to put things into perspective, right? You could generate $100,000, but you're living off 20, 30%
Yeah, because
margins,
you got to pay
if
for
that.
XYZ, you got to pay for a bunch of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if you think about it, what is your monthly expense on softwares?
Probably about like 400, I mean, now, but when I
Yeah,
first
now,
started, now probably like 400, 500, 600
like,
on
yeah,
softwares, roughly. But
yeah,
roughly about
like
300
four,
to yeah,
now
300,
that you
500.
have active campaign, now
Yeah.
that you have
School.
ClickFunnels, now that you have like,
Yeah.
or you don't have ClickFunnels, but you have school,
Hmm.
like 300, $400 a month. Now you're spending $10 a day on ads. Ooh, it's just like it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like let's say for example, let's say you spend $400 a month, right? Um, 400 times 12 is what? Maybe four, yeah, so 4,800, so
Yeah.
$5,000. So you spend 70. The business might have cost you. Let's go worst case 10,000. Like you profited $60,000, $50,000.
Crazy.
Ah, dude, that's ridiculous,
Crazy.
right?
Hmm.
On your first year in building your coaching business, that is unbelievable.
Hmm. Hmm.
Right. And so, yeah, sure, you spent money on investing into yourself, but you're always going to be investing into yourself. But
100%.
actually
That
running
doesn't
the
stop.
business
Yeah, that doesn't stop.
doesn't stop. But running the business is a very low overhead business. So,
Yeah.
anyway, Mr. Nick, it's always round of applause for Nick. If you guys are watching this, come show your love down below. But I appreciate you, brother.
I
I
appreciate you too,
appreciate.
man.
Any last words that you wanna say to the audience? I think you're an inspiration.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see you crush this goal for this year and hit
Mhm.
your first multiple six figures in coaching this year. But any words that you want to tell the audience before we jump off?
Yeah, I think the first thing that I really want everyone to understand is if this is something that you're actually serious about doing, like actually building a coaching business, actually impacting lives, and you're still trying to figure it out on your own, I hate to break it to you, but that will never work out. Right? Like Dan and Dev already have the foundations, they already have the systems. And again, it's crazy to me because you guys do the same exact thing that I'm doing, everybody all the other clients are doing as well. Right?
Hmm.
Everybody's seeing the testimonies, everybody's seeing the credibility. Right?
Hmm.
So to me, if you're not taking action on, really making this business work with specifically them, and you know this is something that you want to do, yet you're trying to figure it out on your own, you know, you I don't think you're gonna last too long, honestly. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. It's the truth. And I tell copywriters this as well. It's like, you can either pay with time or money. There's no other way you
Mm.
can go about it. So again, if this is something that you're serious about doing, make the decision to work with them because I promise you, just like how Dan and Dev changed my life, I promise you they'll change your life as well.
What a great paid actor, Nick. Thank you so much.
You gotta give me my
Nick
wire
is,
check, man.
I gotta send you a wire later. Um, but yeah, seriously, I appreciate you,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Let's keep kicking ass for 2024, and let's change lives. Let's make an impact, and yeah, let's just keep doing our thing, man. So appreciate you guys all, whether you're on the Instagrams, whether you're on the YouTube or the Facebook. We appreciate you. Would love to hear your feedback down below. Any questions you got for Nick, be sure to comment. I'm sure Nick will
Yeah,
respond back to you.
100%.
But appreciate you guys all, and have yourself a wonderful night. And let's end January strong, and let's kick butt this year.
All right, brother. We'll chat soon, brother.
Okay, bye.
Peace.
Take
Bye.
care.